This is the Pursuit of Wellness podcast, and I'm your host, Mari Llewellyn. Hi guys, welcome back to the show. I am joined today by Fiona. Fee, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Love to be here.
We are sitting in our old studio right now in LA in the Bloom office, and it feels really freaking weird.
So weird.
So weird.
Out of body experience.
Yeah.
For some reason.
And not just because we haven't been here in a while, but because we were literally in New York last night, and then in Austin. We've been in 3 cities in the past 2 days. Is that
You're in
accurate?
New York 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
Like 7 hours ago.
Just got off the plane.
Yeah.
At LAX with a dream and my cardigan. I'm wearing a cardigan.
Sweater.
You're also wearing a
A
cardigan.
mini cardigan.
We have a ton of updates for you guys. Like a lot of just exciting stuff happening that we want to fill you in on. A lot of fertility things, a lot of ovulating things, fertility. Did I say fertility?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Guys, please bear with us. We just got off a plane. Also, my skin is peeling quite aggressively. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, Mari's a reptile, please, I got a little bit of a sunburn.
You look great.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
You
Fee's
look
like
great.
forever my hype woman. I'm breaking out really bad and I'm peeling. So bear with me on that. We have a lot of exciting things to discuss.
We do.
I mean, pretty much my dream situation happened in New York. And should we give them some context?
Please. It was crazy, you guys. Just even from the moment Mari told me about the whole occasion happening. Okay, give them some details.
It's a big deal for me, for Fee, for the POW team, just everyone who's helped me get here. I'm already giving a speech. Why am I giving a speech? Let me tell them exactly what happened. About 3 or 4 days ago, I get a DM from Jay Shetty. As in Jay Shetty. If you don't know Jay Shetty, I don't know what to tell you. He is the biggest podcaster out right now. He has a show called On Purpose. He interviews, Kim Kardashian, Orlando Bloom, Kendall Jenner, some really big names. And he's a fantastic interviewer, someone I admire so much in this space. Very mental health forward, a lot of meditation practice. And I love his show. I get a DM from him. Screaming, crying, throwing up. The second I see it in my inbox, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, me, when I get a DM from someone I love, I just freak out.
Yeah, you freaked out.
Freak out.
Freaked out.
Kind of like Pookie. Pookie followed me the other day, guys.
That was crazy. And who liked your reel?
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood.
What's happening?
She's amazing. She's the best quads in the game, besides yours.
Thank you.
Okay, continue.
Sorry. Anyway, Jay DMs me and he goes, Mari, what's your email? I want to invite you to something special. Immediately losing it, crying, screaming, oh my God, Fee, what's happening? Where are we going? What's going on? We get the email probably a day later.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're a couple days out from the event.
Yeah, I think it was a Thursday DM.
Yeah.
Friday receiving of details.
Basically, Jay is sponsoring the Time 100 Impact Dinner. And this is basically where they honor health, what would you say?
People what's the word? Movers.
Personalities.
Not personalities even. People in the health space that are game changers.
Yes.
Movers. People that are getting,
Time 100 hosts an event where they honor really impactful people in the health space, whether they are survivors of war or maybe they've discovered a new gene or a new medicine. So really the most incredible people in the health industry. And Jay is a part of this event and he is hosting a table at the event of 7 people. And I am one of the 7. What the hell? What the hell? What is happening? So he goes, it's in New York City on Monday night.
It's Friday. It's the Friday before.
This is a Friday. And it's this Monday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. I'd love to have you. I look at Fee and I'm like, what do we do? Because we were supposed to fly to LA on Monday. I had 5 podcast interviews, meetings, my whole schedule was planned. And I looked at Fee and I said, we got to change the whole thing. This is the only person that I would drop everything for other than you and Greg. I mean, It would have been like, this was a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
So Fee helped me change my whole schedule. We packed the bags and it was a cocktail event. Like it's fancy. So immediately I'm ordering like dresses on Revolve, trying everything on. What's going to happen?
Like gowns, you guys. I was like, Mari.
No, I did. I ordered ball gowns.
You ordered a couple gowns.
I'm not like I'm not a good like event dresser.
Cocktail's a little tough, you know? It's like, what's too fancy? Like you kind of can't go wrong, but also like you can.
Anyway,
don't be too casual.
I ended up using a dress that I already had. It was like business casual. It's a Helsa. You know, guys, like Elsa Hosk, the model, has a brand called Helsa. And it was this long sleeve, sort of like chiffon
So cute.
dress.
Very flattering.
Thank you, Fee. She helped me style it with boots, a bag. I was feeling good. We booked hair and makeup because I was just like, I need someone to do that for me. Like we were landing, the flight to New York, we landed at what? 12:30?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Got to the hotel. The room wasn't ready. So we were basically pacing. I mean, we got a lot of work done in the meantime, but we were pacing around, waiting for the room to be ready. We finally get in at like 3:30.
Glam comes at 4.
Glam comes at 4. I'm in the chair. I'm freaking out. I'm nervous because truthfully, I didn't know what to expect out of this event. And I've been to a few events before, but nothing like of this level and something that I care so deeply about, I guess. Like Time 100 is incredible. Jay is incredible. To be considered as one of the 7, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing.
It was also pretty broad. Like the details he gave were pretty like, nothing too specific.
Yeah.
The email was actually really funny. Like me and Mari were trying to like decipher what exactly he meant. Mari's like, I think I'm like at his table. And I was like, I was wrong. Mari was correct.
Fee thought it wasn't even a table.
I thought it was like a panel. I didn't understand it, but Mari was spot on. Like he curated this table of 7 and he chose you to be in it. But it was like, there was very few details. So
yeah,
you were kind of freaking out.
But knew it would be really special. And yeah, I just was really nervous and excited. I had found out that my friend Sammy Clark was also attending the event, which was really helpful to have someone to go with. And she was also at the table. And I was just really excited for both of us. So got ready, took some pictures, headed to the event, and still don't know what's going on. Walk in, we line up at a table and they tell you what table you're sitting at. So they're like, oh, table 10, table 5. Sammy goes first. She's at table 5. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm at table 5. I hope I'm at table 5. Oh my God. And they give me a little wristband. They're like, Mari, you're at table 5. And I'm like, okay, thank God. We go upstairs, immediately walk in. There's a step and repeat. For anyone who doesn't know, a step and repeat is like that big thing.
A photo moment.
A photo moment.
With like a backdrop.
With a backdrop and a photographer. So me and Sammy are like, oh, let's take some cute pictures. Like I go first. I'm standing there. She's filming me, hyping me up. Jay is right there. And he goes, oh, Mari, Sammy, and is waving. And we're like, Jay! Like, I was just hoping that I would get to speak to him.
Yeah.
And he ran over. He gave us both a hug, took a photo with us. And I was like, is this really happening right now? Like, within the 5 minutes that I've gotten here? And I think a little bit, like, I still have imposter syndrome. Like, I think a lot of people think that I'm like,
it was so cute, you guys. Then, like, when her and Sammy were about to leave in the Uber, like, first of all, I felt like a mom, like, watching my kids go off to prom. Like, they were all dressed up. I was taking their photo. They were so nervous. And they both, like, 2 women who have, like, really achieved so much at such a young age, both of you. And they were both like, I don't know, like, we deserve this. I'm like, you guys 100% deserve this. Like, I felt like you guys both were really nervous, but I was like, I was so happy for you guys. And you both did deserve to be there. So
Thank you.
I'm so glad.
It was definitely a moment of like needing to just take a minute and reflect and soak it all in. I made sure during the event to sit for a second and look around and be like, wow, you are here. You are in this moment. Soak it in because this is like a dream.
Mari 2 years ago, like imagine if I was like, you're gonna go and sit at Jay Shetty's dinner and he's gonna like text you to come.
Immediately no.
Like you'd be like, in what world?
I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a pinch me moment. Like got to sit at the table, met some amazing people in the industry, heard some amazing speakers. Halle Berry was on the stage telling her story about menopause and she was so open and transparent. And for someone who's so famous to come out like that, I thought it was incredible. Heard from some incredible people. It was such an inspiring evening. I got to spend time with Melissa Tepperberg, who was there, a lot of time with Jay, talking, connecting with people who are like-minded and who have been through similar things. And gosh, it was like amazing. And then I was there till like 11, got on an Uber. I mean, I was talking to Jay on the street before I got in the Uber. We were just chatting about being from the UK and stuff. I get in the Uber and the Uber driver goes, "Was that Jay Shetty?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, Jay?
It was.
My friend.
Oh, who, Jay? Yeah. What do you mean? Of course. Yeah, anyway, I get in the Uber and I literally sprint home to Fee because I'm like so excited to tell her because I hadn't texted you all night.
Oh, guys, I'm like literally a worried mom. I'm like, how's it going? Are you at your table? Who's at your table? Are they being nice? Are you having? But once she didn't, I went out and got dinner with my friend Sydney. But once she didn't text me, I was like, okay, if Mari was panicked, if something was wrong, I would know.
Yeah.
And you weren't. So I was like, she must be having like an amazing time.
Yeah.
It was so fun though. Me and Sydney were like waiting at the hotel for you to come back and like debrief us. And it's like exactly, we were like sitting there waiting to hear all the details.
This whole thing is like as if I went on a date.
No, it was.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was like way cooler than that.
Yeah, way cooler than that, but it's still.
Yeah.
Ran home, told Fee everything, ate some sweet potatoes that I had brought. Super lame. Like I brought meal prep with me and I was eating that. Because you know at events you don't really end up eating a lot.
You're like
you're
distracted,
talking.
you're talking.
Yeah, and I was so in the moment. So I ended up eating a whole meal when I got home.
I tried to order cookies, but it was like 4 minutes past.
I know. I really thought Fee would have a dessert platter waiting for me.
I tried. I really tried. I was really upset. Honestly.
I thought we had a plan.
We did have a plan and I messed up. I missed it by like 4 minutes, but it's okay.
It's okay. We'll make up for it. We'll
Yeah.
have cookies here.
It's good.
There's no good cookies
No,
here.
there aren't.
Salt and straw.
Yeah. I'm hooked on those hot take cookies now. Nothing beats that.
Or we could go to Press Juicery and get the freaking
I
froyo.
haven't had that yet.
Oh, let's do that.
Okay.
Because it's right there.
Let's do it tonight. A
Anyway.
little walk.
Anyway, guys. So we go to bed. It's probably 1 a.m. Had to wake up at 5:30 for the flight. We were both creatures. Like I was a creature this morning. I was so unwell. I felt horrible.
Yeah.
So then we get on the plane to LAX and it's 6-hour flight?
Yeah. Like 5.5. Yeah.
I slept almost the whole time.
Yeah.
You slept a couple hours.
It was needed.
Landed. I mean, we literally just got off the plane, guys. So this is a hustle right now.
Our team, when we got there, they're like, did you guys fly like that? I was like,
No.
I was like,
No.
no, full gremlin homeless person mode.
Yeah,
I was like, this person was not this person 30 minutes ago.
This pilgrim?
Yeah, this pilgrim right here was not this pilgrim 30 minutes ago.
I just have to say, like, this type of schedule sounds really cool and glam, and like Greg can get away with it, and certain people I know can get away with it. I can't. I am too sensitive for this lifestyle.
I know. But you know what? I actually was thinking about it and I was like, we have been living a very, I mean, we're always busy, but like overall, I feel like since moving to Austin, we've been living a more relaxed life.
True.
And like I kind of feel like I have a little high.
Ooh.
Like it's kind of a little fun.
No pip in your step.
Like, I'm like, New York.
I know.
LA.
Jet setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And we're young. Like,
Yeah.
we should do this now.
Yeah.
Rather
It's also
than-
just really cool. And I know like how impactful it is for the show and you. And
You're
it was,
right.
like,
You're right.
it's worth it.
You're right. It is worth it. But I'm just saying, like, something will happen. Like, I will get sick, or my face will break out, which is already happening, or something will happen. Just if I drop dead, you'll know why. Okay? Anyways, other little updates. I have my little notes here that I keep a notepad constantly when something happens that I want to tell you guys. I write it down, which is kind of cute. Like, you know.
Notes for the gals.
Let's talk fertility for a minute, because what would a POW episode be if we didn't talk about freaking fertility, you know?
Yeah.
At this point. So, guys, I'm really happy because I ovulated right before we left, which put me in a really good mood because I'm such a type A control freak. When I take any type of test and it's a negative, I'm upset. So I've been testing for ovulation with a digital test. My fertility clinic said to use a digital test because
It looks like a pregnancy test.
yes, it's
I actually
either,
kind of freaked out when you first showed me because it was like literally a test with a smiley face. I was like,
I would never tell you over text, first of all.
yeah.
But it tells you whether you're ovulating or not. And it's not like a line that's like, oh, is it there? Is it not there? It's like a definite yes. So feeling really good about that. The fact that I'm ovulating regularly. Also got a saline test done, and Fee came with me.
I did. It's quite the experience.
Yeah, she sat behind my head, so she wasn't like looking up my vagina. But
First, when I got in the room, they have like another little chair and I was sitting there. And then Mari like gets all situated and I was like, oh, I have like full view. I was like, I'm gonna go sit at the top of near her head. They were like, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
My feet were in the stirrups. Like,
yeah, I was like,
I truthfully didn't quite know what I was getting myself into. And I had my eyes scrunched closed like this because I was like nervous. And Fee goes, no, Mari, look.
No, I literally go, Mari, I'm looking at your ovaries. And she goes, what? And she's like, wait, what?
I look over in the screen. So basically what happened is they put a big catheter type thing up there. And they did a full look around of my uterus, I think the ovaries. They were like counting follicles. They were checking there was no polyps or cysts. None. No polyps, no cysts. I had a good amount of follicles, which apparently if you have PCOS, you have more than less, which sounds like a good thing, but apparently like, I don't know, whatever. Then they go in the fallopian tube and they shoot saline up there just to make sure everything's like open and good. And everything looked great. Yeah. And it was like a really exciting appointment because I felt like we got to see things. It felt real. It felt really like, cool. Oh, good. Like things are looking healthy. So that put me on the right foot. After the test and doing some research and getting a bunch of DMs from you guys, I've realized that the saline test can actually kind of flush you out and make it more likely that you'll get pregnant that month. So, Fee, why don't you tell them, like, Fee did some digging too and her own little research.
You guys, my goal is to get Mari pregnant. like, that sounds weird, but like literally I want to get her pregnant.
Fee is my midwife.
So I was recently at a bachelorette and there was a girl on the bachelorette that was, I think she was like maybe 5 months along. And she kind of was telling me about her process and like how they were trying for a while. And she was saying, you know, she was tracking ovulation and she felt like it wasn't working that well for them. And like she was testing, like having a positive ovulation test, but then wasn't actually ovulating. I don't know. She was explaining that it wasn't working for her to track that way. So then she explained to me, she said, do you know, I think it's Heather McMahon. I think that's who, yes. Heather McMahon. And you can look, if you type in Heather McMahon pregnancy on TikTok, a video will pop up. I can even like link it in the show notes. And she has this like theory. I'm not sure like how true, like I don't know where she got this from, but basically, and I think I'm gonna say it right, once your period ends, like the last day of your period, from then on, every other day, you should be having sex and do it for like, she kind of said as like up to 10 or even like 14 days. So basically 2 weeks, every other day, right as soon as your period ends. And like, I do not understand the science behind it, but from what I've learned, it's like, it's not necessarily good to be doing it every day. But every other day for that period of time following your period, like, you kind of like, as long as you are ovulating, you kind of can't miss the ovulation. Like it just really increases your chances.
Yes.
And this girl at the bachelorette told me this is what her and her husband did and they got pregnant.
Yeah.
And so like I came home and I was like, Mari, I'm doing this for you. And like I literally went in Mari's calendar.
This for you?
I went in Mari's, sorry. I'm going to try this for you. I went in her calendar. I was like, I'm going to put reminders every other day just for you to think about it.
We really did this. We've labeled it baby, 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 baby. And every other day it pops up and we've been, sorry, if anyone's listening who's related to me, please just stop listening or
they know what you're doing.
If I do work with you or something. Every other day has been what we're doing. And the reason it works is apparently because the sperm will live up there for like 2 days. So even if do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's always there.
It's always there.
It's always there if you're doing it every other day. And it's strong because you're doing it every other day versus like if you're doing it every day, they might not be as strong or like.
And you don't have to obsess as much over the window of time, which can be really stressful. Like, for example, my ovulation test came back positive right when Greg left for LA and I'm leaving to New York. And it's like, oh my gosh. But given that it was positive the day before we left, it probably was positive the day before as well. I just didn't test that day. So it's good that we had been on that cycle because otherwise I would have missed that window.
Yep.
And then now we will continue the cycle. Anyway, we're trying it. We'll see if it works.
I'm determined.
Fee is determined. She has become a part of this mission, which I really appreciate because, I talk about it all the fucking time. So.
I want Mari and Greg to have a baby so badly, you guys. Like, I'm so baby obsessed and it's not my time right now. So I'm like, perfect.
I know. I know.
Also, I love you guys and I want that for you. I know how badly you want it, so.
Thank you.
It's going to happen.
Anyway, I share this because I don't feel like anyone talks about this, do you? Like they talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, like once people get pregnant, then they say, we were actually struggling for this long. I think because it is kind of one of those things that's like
Uncomfy.
it's uncomfy. And I feel like you even said this in your last solo episode, like you kind of feel defeated and you're like, I'm so healthy, I do everything right. Like, why can I not do this? And I think it's a very defeating and not shameful, but I think as women, like
we internalize.
We're supposed to be mothers. Like, it's like, why are we not getting pregnant? So
it is frustrating. I have ups and downs with it, but I after meeting so many women who have struggled with it themselves, like I met a girl the other day who did IVF for 2 years, and just hearing that perspective is like really, really helpful for me. And even when I share this, like I get messages about it on my Instagram, and I do check my messages. And when I see girls telling me like, oh, we struggled for this long and we managed to get pregnant, it just gives me hope.
Or the girls are like, we're struggling now. And like, it's so nice to hear someone else talk about it because no one does.
Totally. Yeah. So I'm with you guys. I'm with you gals. We're going to have our babies. They're coming. Don't worry. And they're going to be so freaking cutie.
So cute and chunky.
Oh, it's probably so chunky.
So chunky.
I was a chunk.
I was as well.
Sophie.
Yes.
I feel like I've been talking about myself a lot. Can you give us an update?
Like this is your show or something.
Yeah. Sorry. Let me shut up. But people love hearing from you. Like I asked everyone what their favorite episodes are, and like an overwhelming amount of people said yours.
I'm flattered. It's so much fun. I love doing it. We have a good time.
We have the best time. But tell us what's going on with you.
So I've wanted to talk about this, but I've been kind of just waiting for the right time, and like when I feel comfortable and when I feel like I can like share enough about it. But I did start taking semaglutide. I think I just did my 10th injection.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think 10 weeks ago. I know, time's flying. We're
by.
so busy. I want to say I started like March or April. So yeah, I've done 10 weeks. I found a great place in Austin that was like highly regarded, local. I have like meetings with a doctor. Like there was a whole team. They provide you like a nutritionist to talk about your diet and your exercise and stuff before you even get started. And yeah, it's actually been really good. And like, to be very transparent, I was very nervous to go on it. For a long, like I've thought, I don't want to say everyone's on it. A lot of people, especially in LA and social media, on it and saw great success, but there's also a lot of negativity online about it. I know we just had a guest on who I was bummed I didn't get to actually go to the recording because I was sick that week in Nashville, but she came on and shared a lot about also the risks of Ozempic, and also semaglutide's Ozempic. I should say that, but the brand I'm on is like a compounded semaglutide. And she shared a bunch of the risks about it. And I think that's like the stomach paralysis. And I mean, there's a million risks, as any medication is. But I've had a good experience so far. I know we want to go like do an episode that's a little more in depth about it, which like I'm definitely open to doing if you guys want to hear about it.
But since you're only 10 weeks in right now, like what was the start like?
Yeah.
And like what side effects did you have and how do you feel now?
For sure. So the place I went, and I mean, everyone's going to be different. The place I went has a very like, how do I want to say it? Like a slow protocol. So the first month, so for 4 weeks, you do 5 units, which is like the lowest dosage. Honestly, it's like nothing. And this is in like a syringe that you pull out of a bottle yourself. It's not like the Ozempic pen or anything like that. And I was doing 5 units for 4 weeks. Honestly, didn't notice too much. If anything, I felt like maybe I like wasn't going to the bathroom as frequently. I did have a little bit of nausea. I'm like a nauseous girly. That's like just one thing about me. Like I just get nauseous. So I did have a little nausea, but it subsided. And the doctor also prescribes you like a anti-nausea medicine if it like really gets severe, which I think I took once or twice. Sometimes in the mornings, if I was going to go do a workout class, I'd be like on my cycle, like cycling, and I'd be like, but then it would go away. So that definitely happened at first. Then 4 more weeks in, you double. So then I was doing 10 units. And now, as of the last 2 shots, I've been doing 20 units. So technically, I'm on like the strongest dose I've taken. But as I've gone up, like the side effects have subsided. I can say, and like this truly was the reason I really wanted to go on it in the first place. I've thought about food my entire life. Like, as young as I can remember, food noise has been like, it's like all I could hear. And growing up, I had friends that like, when you're that young, you don't even know what you're experiencing. But I would like see my friends have like a couple bites of their ice cream and then just like push it to the side. And I would be like, I can eat a whole carton of Ben & Jerry's. Like, what do you mean? And I felt like I really had gotten to a point where I felt very comfortable with like, as I was in my body and I was doing my workouts, and I feel like I'm really like eating a very balanced diet, not restricting too much, but like getting enough protein in. And I just still felt very puffy and inflamed. This also kind of leads to those results I got from Emily. I have high estrogen. I'm estrogen dominant. And I took all those results from Emily and shared it with the doctor at this practice. And she was like, I actually think you're the perfect candidate for something like this. I wasn't pre-diabetic, but I was like, my numbers were kind of right before.
Like high insulin.
It was high. It was on the higher end. It wasn't quite where it would be pre-diabetic, but she was like, I really think you should just like give it a shot. And like I said, I'd been talking about it, with my family for a bit, and I decided to do it. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far. The food noise has like tremendously subsided.
Wow.
Like, I think if out of any side effect or positive part about it, I think what should be promoted more is like how it really affects mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have never dealt with food noise, like, God bless you. Like, I'm so jealous of you, truly. It is awful. It really is. Like, when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you think about what you're gonna eat, and then you're eating breakfast and you're already thinking about what you're gonna eat next, or like, it's just it like runs your life. And I've definitely healed my relationship with food a lot through like therapy and like really trying to be more balanced. But there was a time where like my binging was really out of hand, and that was when the food noise, like, it's an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I truly think food is an addiction. And I know we've like had people on that have said this before, but like, obviously drugs and alcohol, like, you don't need that to survive. You need to eat to survive. So imagine like having an addiction to something that it's like, you have to do this to survive. But like, it really can control you. And I think the food noise, I wake up in the morning and I'm like excited to go do a workout, and I'm like, I'll eat breakfast after, make sure I'm getting enough protein in.
But it's not a constant buzz.
Yeah, like it's not a constant buzz. Like, even we got off our flight this morning, and I ate on the plane because I was really hungry. Ate on the plane. We got off, and we were in a rush, so we ordered lunch, and I got my lunch, and I was like, I'm not that hungry right now, so I'm not gonna eat. But I brought it with me, and in probably like an hour, I'm gonna be like ravenous and want to eat, and I will. But all this being said, too, I do think it is abused. I think there are people that take it that do not need it, and people might want to say that about me. Like I said, I'm not doing this for like a dramatic weight change. Like, I'm not trying to starve myself. I'm eating. For me, it really was like the quieting the food noise. And it has. And I'm making sure I'm getting enough protein in. I think we were talking about this earlier. Like, I think people on this medication need to be taught the right tools to make it a lifestyle. You need to make sure you're getting enough protein. You need to make sure you're also exercising. Just starving yourself and injecting yourself every week, and like, okay, you might drop 30 pounds. That's not going to get you very far. And I don't want to be on this medication my whole life, but I'm hoping, we'll see. I'm hoping, I don't know how long I'm going to do it. I'm almost done. The program I'm doing is like 12 weeks at a time. So I'm almost done with the 12 weeks. I might do 12. I don't know. I'm going to see. I'm going to talk to my doctor, but it's really helped. And I've really enjoyed it so far. And like, I'm not going to share numbers exactly of like what I've lost or not lost, but I feel really good. And I honestly feel a lot less inflamed. I will say that. Yeah. I think I was every time I would get like a lymphatic drainage or anything, they'd be like, you're holding so much water and inflammation. And to be honest, like, my weight hasn't moved a ton, but my clothes are fitting differently,
Which is
like
huge.
it feels really nice.
I don't
It
think
feels
the
really
scale
nice.
is like an accurate
Yeah.
way of measuring.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome that you're sharing, first of all. I think, you know, a lot of girls listening are probably curious or have heard experts on the show talk about it. And we've had mixed opinions. We've had, you know, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon speak about the benefits of it as long as you're doing it the right way. We had Cara Clark, who wasn't a huge fan. We had someone who's coming up soon, JJ, who is a big fan. So I think what was nice is you got to hear a bunch of different expert opinions and then make your own educated decision, which is really the key of all of this, guys. Like, I don't think that there's a black and white answer about Ozempic yet. I think that there's risks, as there are with anything else. But what is the risk of having food noise 24/7? What is the risk of, this isn't your case, but someone who is obese or someone who can't get themselves to exercise? You know, like, this is really helping a ton of people. And I think to ignore that is ignorant.
Yeah.
And also I would imagine your inflammation's going down because you're estrogen dominant, and lowering glucose and fasting insulin is going to help with that.
Yeah.
So if it's helping your hormones, like, that is a really beneficial thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's cool you're sharing, because just after seeing the feedback from the last nutritionist episode, people have a lot of thoughts about it. And I don't think anyone should be in the position where they're like getting mad, you know? Like, everyone has their own experience.
I feel like people think it's like a cheat. Like, you're cheating your way to like losing weight. And like, I'm gonna be like, I have worked out and eaten well, like, as long as I can remember. Like, truly, I do the work.
And it's not like you stopped when you started taking semaglutide. If anything, you're kind of, I feel like, more focused on your health.
Like, I'm doing the work and I wasn't seeing the results. And that in itself is a whole nother mental, like, mind F, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I just want to give a shout out to like, what's her name? Girl with no job, Claudia. Claudia.
From the toast,
Claudia Oshry. I think the way she is going about sharing her experience with it is incredible. I was saying to you, like, she just ran a 5K, or maybe it might even been more than that. And like,
a 5K,
and she says, like, before, when she was at like her heaviest, she like couldn't cross her legs comfortably. And I'm like, this medication is giving people the ability that like were that uncomfortable and like probably couldn't really even work out, to like, now she's running 5Ks. That's amazing.
Yeah, and she's not on it
anymore. She's not on it anymore. And she's made a huge lifestyle change. And is that everybody? Absolutely not. But like, if you are doing it the correct way, and also like, anyone listening, if you are interested in it, like, make sure you find a reputable provider. Don't like be buying it online from wherever, you know. Make sure you're doing it with someone that's watching over you and making sure you're doing the right amounts. And yeah, it's been good. We'll see.
Well, thanks for the update, Fee. And I can't wait to hear more. Glad you're feeling good already. And I feel like we must have the most transparent show on the internet.
Mari's vagina, my Ozempic.
Like, are we done oversharing yet or no?
It feels good.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It feels like therapy. Also, because we're so busy all the time, like, I don't always get to sit down with you and get like a full update. So we're kind of selfishly using this show as a way of updating each other.
Are.
Also, I really want to tell them what you were just sampling.
Oh.
Fee was just trying our new Bloom product that comes out in July, and she's obsessed.
Yeah, it's literally sitting right across from me. Mari told me I was not allowed to have it in the frame, but it is amazing, you guys. Very needed after a long flight. I'll say that.
Yep. Pip in the step.
Yeah, pep in my step. Delicious.
Gut friendly.
Game changer. So just be tuned. Stay tuned. Whoa.
Be tuned. Anyway, I couldn't let Fee have it in the frame because the design isn't perfect yet. That is not a final draft of the product.
But it's amazing. I had the whole team try it.
And everyone loved it. Everyone in the room loved it. So I'm just so excited to tell you guys. Freaking out. July. And as we get closer, I will give more and more clues. And I want to do like a huge giveaway on the show.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to us rumble about everything in our lives. I hope it wasn't too much of an overshare. Send us a DM if you could relate to any of that. And if you want us to like dive deeper into any of the topics we talked about. Fee, thank you so much
Of course.
for coming on the show. Love you guys. Just a reminder, leave a review. And if you aren't followed or subscribed, make sure you are, because you will get a notification every time we post.
Twice a week.
Twice a week, baby. And we have a lot coming. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us on the Pursuit of Wellness podcast. To support this show, please rate and review and share with your loved ones. If you want to be reminded of new episodes, click the subscribe button on your preferred podcast or video player. You can sign up for my newsletter to receive my favorites at marilewellen.com. It will be linked in the show notes. This is a Wellness Out Loud production produced by Drake Peterson, Fiona Attucks, and Kelly Kyle. This show is edited by Mike Fry, and our video is recorded by Luis Vargas. You can also watch the full video of each episode on our YouTube channel at Mari Fitness. Love you, Pow Girls and Pow Boys. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team.